that is because a couple of days ago, I took my freshman daughter to college. And I knew this was going to happen. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy. But quite frankly, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Maybe it was because she was my first. Maybe it was because for the first couple of years of her life, I was Mr. Mom. I was the one who stopped working so my wife could finish medical school and her internship. I spent almost every day at the playground, and I changed more diapers than I can ever imagine. And this is back in the time where cloth diapers were becoming in vogue again. And I loved it all. And she made it quite easy. So when I left there on Sunday, I could not help but think about the many evenings that I spent leaving the dinner table at home to go to a meeting, or maybe a community event that took perhaps several days to plan and perhaps all day to work on. I couldn't forget all those campaigns, whether it was for tax reform or maybe for a preserving farmland effort like the one last year we had for community preservation. And I see many of you who helped out in that really very difficult but important effort that we achieved success with. That was 11 straight weeks, and many of us worked 10, 12, and sometimes 15-hour days. So at least for last Sunday, I wanted some of those hours back so that I could spend more time with her. After all, my wife and I moved to this community back in the 90s so that we could focus our lives a little bit more on our children and less on our careers. Luckily, the farm allowed us to have a good amount of time together. And as I look back, not on necessarily my volunteering, but her volunteering. As a 17-year-old, she's already worked with abused children. She's already volunteered with seniors in nursing homes. And as many of you probably read in the paper just a few months ago, she took a couple of friends to India and she built a library for people in a village with leprosy. So when I asked her a few days ago about our decision to move here to Red Hook and how she felt about it and all that had transpired over the years, she smiled and she simply said, "I'm very happy with the way things have turned out here. And I would like everyone's daughter, everyone's son, everyone's brother or sister here in Red Hook to feel the same way that she does about being here." But now, I think more than ever, it's becoming increasingly difficult for a lot of folks just to make ends meet. I think Ann touched upon some of those things, the spike in fuel costs, the property taxes which keep going up. I just want people to know I'm not a stranger to those kind of financial difficulties. I grew up in a project in the Bronx. I believe that as members of the community and also as elected officials, we need to work together more with our team of volunteers, and we have incredible volunteers in this community. We're talking about the people who deliver financial and other assistance through their churches or their clubs or the food pantries. We're talking about the volunteers who deliver incredible sports programs to our children, the folks that put together those great, terrific, traditional Red Hook community events at Blundell, like Hardscrabble and Apple Blossom Day. I think we can work together to make it better for a lot of the folks that need a lot of assistance.